What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and yeah, I thought I'd take today to just revisit a really old deck. I can't even think of the last time I featured this. This was a deck that I showed way early on when I first started making YouTube videos, kind of full-time-ish. It's Shaddoll Dark Magicians. It's a really interesting concept. If you want to know like the in-depth version of this deck, you can go on my channel. It's not like this stuff. It's not like ancient duels or anything like that. The concept is still very much the same. I've just been tweaking a little bit, and I may do an updated deck profile if I like where it's at. But I'm just going to show you a few replays and just kind of refresh everyone on what's going on with the deck. I play a myriad of duels actually against different decks here, so you'll see a diverse range of what this deck can do. One of the reasons I showed this duel, of course, is this the new Security Force archetype. I just went over it actually when I went through every card of the new set that's coming out. I don't think they're that good, to be honest with you. It's kind of like Mech Knights, but not as good as Mech Knights, so I don't really know why you'd play them. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of display of Super Poly and all these follow-up plays I actually had. So a lot of good things here to go over. This was a really fun duel. I had a lot of fun playing with this guy actually. He's playing like a pure Red Eyes deck, and the matchup is actually kind of good. And also here's the new Dark Honest card. Trying to show as many new cards that I can when I play these duels, because I'm not always going to like go over every single card that's ever come out. But if I know about it and I see it, I'll point it out, and that's how we'll do that. Since he had a Dark Magician in his graveyard from Red Eyes, I can actually draw 2 off of Soul Servant. So that's why I sent the Dark Magician girl. He top decks another Red Eyes Fusion. I'm not sure if he has 2 copies of Dark Magician, so. But yeah, I didn't have a Dark Magician in my graveyard just yet. So there he goes. He goes for the Dark Honest, and he does protect himself with Return of the Dragon Lords. My board is kind of wide open, but I feel okay because I still have Soul Servant, so another draw 2, and you know, my engine at this point is now off to the races. I can get rid of his Red Eyes Black Dragon. Really like this art, by the way. And then yeah, you can always turn your Dark Magician into an effect monster, which is kind of important. At this point is when I'm starting to really, you know, take it to the next level. I have he can only special summon once. I have the Eternal Soul. So he did have another copy of Dragoon of Red Eyes. This is protected by card effects, so for the most part I'm fine because I do have this Kaiju in my hand, which is normally used for Shaddoll Fusion, but in this case it's not. I might as well start getting this stuff on the field, and I contribute this so I can search next turn. I do top deck a Keeper of the Dragon Magic. We'll see what I end up going for here. I can do just about anything. It's not like he has a negate really. It's really just a 3,000 attack monster that's not going to exist in a few seconds. And I can go ahead and start banishing again. Really the core of any Dark Magician, you know, engine, right, is just that banishing effect every single turn and finding ways to keep him off the field and do stuff with him, and using cards like Strength and Unity to kind of make that happen too. This is Numeron Eldritch, so these really aren't the worst decks in the world that I'm playing against for the most part. I guess you can say Security Force is probably one of those that isn't so awesome, but here it is. This is Zexal and everything that goes along with all of this. So yeah, that's what I was talking about with the normal summon of the Shaddoll monster with Polymerization, is playing around Gamma, or playing around Gamma I should say, which most players do. But fortunately I had the out for it. And not everyone's playing Super Poly, if anybody, I should say. And yeah, at the core, another core of all of this, other than the Dark Magician engine, is Dragoon of Red Eyes. It's kind of a turbo version of it, or something like that, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you guys know on this channel, supporter of negating Cursed Eldlin. It's kind of the way to stop the majority of Eldritch plays. So he's got an Elixir and a Scarlet Sanguine, so it matters very little to me. Now I have Dark Magician, both Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician in the graveyard, which is very nice. The loop is going to start now. I guess he saved the Numeron wall for that, but of course I have the negate. Now I'm up to 5,000 attack. This is not protected by card effects. It wasn't special summoned by its own effect. So all he is going to have left now is just this Eldritch on the board, and which I will be able to banish if he were to go to the end phase. But yeah, not going to go that far, right? I think this is Evil Twins. Yep. So I think there's like pure Evil Twins. Not any. I think Eldritch is the most popular version, and I may end up, checking that out. Although I've done so much Eldritch stuff. Not that it's, not that I think any of the cards should be banned or anything. It's just I've been playing it a lot, so not always the most interesting thing in the world. It's the most splashable engine in Yu-Gi-Oh for the most part. This is a pretty. This is really bad. I think they do a lot of targeting. Yeah, and I'm still going to be able to attack, and that's the important part, is the follow-up with this. Like most of the time, Dark Magician is like a brick when you're running the Red Eyes package, but here it's like obviously not. So always a good thing there. And then last, I'll show you against Dinos, and it kind of has a good matchup against Dinos. This is also just kind of an interesting duel. It's like I'm like kind of against the ropes. I don't even draw very well, but theoretically, I'm going to be able to at least like chuck this into flip face down again. But the reason that the matchup isn't that great is because the Eternal Soul loop with Dark Magical Circle is really bad for Dinos, because the Dark Magicians are unaffected by card effects, and also the banishing effect you can use during the battle phase. So obviously he's going for the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. He's probably going to get to rank 4. Surprised he doesn't go for Dolka. I mean, I think that was objectively the right choice, but hey, what are you going to do? I'm sure in his mind he thinks, like, this duel's over. There's really not much going on for me here. And his advantage is going to keep continuing. He actually gets Dino Wrestler Pinkertops, another form of disruption. Top deck a Soul Servant, which is really nice. So far, nothing to flip over, and of course I'm just going to get rid of it with the Kaiju. Let's see if he fires off the Pinkertops here. I guess it's the right choice. I mean, in his mind, I have nothing, but still got a little bit to work with. I'm going to get rid of the Lost World, of course. I didn't know that he still had another copy in his hand, which is unfortunate, but still I think it was the objective right choice. I kind of force him to get rid of the rest of the materials. And this isn't a play starter, it's kind of an extender. So even though he did have it, it didn't ultimately influence too much next turn. He still owns a monster from the extra deck, so going to be able to use that Shaddoll Fusion again. Part of this is like pseudo defense, and also like I want to make sure I have to try to force him into the battle phase as quickly as possible, in case he does draw into one of his play starters, so I don't end up dying. Finally top deck the Rod. It's funny, like I said, the Dark Magician engine is like more important in this matchup than the Shaddoll side is, and obviously the Shaddoll is kind of the modern deck. But I finally get 2 monsters on the field, and I can start making my plays. I have a gate, now I have a pop, so this duel's turned completely around, from an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and of course Mystic Mind does not matter against Dark Magicians. Which is always going to be the inherent advantage. Like I said, this is a good matchup against dinosaurs for whatever that's worth. But yeah, that's a little revisit of the Shaddoll Dark Magician deck. Really fun, and you guys can go check out the deck profile, the old one if you want for now, and then while I sort this out, and then if I think it's significantly better, because if I just tweak a little bit and it's not that much better, then I'm just going to refer people back to the old deck profile. I'm also going to be doing the Sacred Beast deck profile pretty soon. It's actually shaping up pretty well. Really happy with the results from there. As of recent, of course, like good results as in for what Sacred Beast is. I'm not going to be taking this and topping any regional soon, so whenever that happens. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful night.